Hey guys, it's Mike here from MasterYourMix.com, and today I want to share with you 5 free plugins that will help you make better mixes. And I'll include links to download all of them in the comments below. The first plugin that I want to talk to you about is the BLUECAT FREQANALYST plugin. Now, Gene Simmons once told me that people listen with their eyes. And when it comes to mixing, obviously you need to be using your ears because that is the most important thing. But it does not hurt to have a visual reference sometimes, because sometimes your monitors aren't necessarily creating the proper low end or the flattest even frequency response. And you need to know what's going on inside of your mix. So by having a visual frequency analyzer, you could see what's going on in your mix, and if there's any spikes of frequencies that are jumping out or that might be really loud that maybe you're not even hearing in your mix. Sometimes a frequency analyzer is a great tool for also finding that problematic frequency that you are hearing, but you just don't know which frequency exactly it is. So the BLUECAT FREQANALYST is a great plugin to use, and I think that it allows you to get jobs done faster. I use it on every single mix. I'm always using it to compare against my reference tracks. I'll see, maybe compare my mix to one of my favorite mixes, and I'll see if I'm missing the top end or the low end, or just make sure that I've got a very similar frequency response. And this definitely helps to make sure that my mix is in the right ballpark. Number 2 on my list of free plugins is the TSE Audio B.O.D. That stands for Bass Overdrive. And this is an amazing plugin that's modeled after the SansAmp Bass Overdrive pedal, and it's a wicked pedal for getting great bass tones. All you need to do is slap it on top of your DI bass tracks, and instantly you'll get this gritty bass amp sound, which will definitely help your bass stick out better in your mix. It gives you a little bit of extra harmonic content in there to make the bass stand out on smaller speakers, and gives you that extra grit to make it stand out in a heavy rock mix. You can get that growl out of the bass. And it's quite a flexible tool. There's anywhere from like just warm, clean bass tones to super gnarly, distorted, nasty sounds. So it's a really cool plugin for that. And I've always been a really big fan of the built-in SansAmp PSA1 plugin that comes with Pro Tools. But this TSE Audio B.O.D pedal plugin is a great alternative that you can use in any DAW. Number 3 on my list of free plugins that you need to check out is the HOFA Project Time. I think it's HOFA, maybe HOFA, I'm not sure. Either way, this is an amazing plugin because what it does is it essentially keeps track of how long you've spent working on a project. Now, if you've ever tried to set rates for your studio and you've tried to work out a per song rate, you need to know how much time you're going to spend on average with your songs. And what better way to keep track of how much time you're spending on a session than to have a plugin built right into the session. So anytime you open the files, it immediately starts counting, and it allows you to keep track of how much time you've spent, whether that's in the recording stage or editing or mixing. It gives you the overall time frame. And this is great because it really allows you to see how much your time is worth, because when you're coming up with the rates, you need to know how much time you've spent and you need to decide what your value is per hour. And this plugin definitely helps to make sense of whether or not you're charging enough for the projects you're working on. The second main benefit to this plugin is that it allows you to keep track of your skill development. So just like you would weigh yourself on a scale if you were trying to lose weight, this plugin allows you to see how long you're actually spending on projects. And if you think that you're taking too long to work on projects, well, then this will now let you know how much time you're actually spending, and then you can create systems and efficiencies in your workflow in order to bring that time down. And it kind of allows you to compete with yourself and work faster and create those efficiencies within your workflow. So it's a very beneficial plugin in a lot of different ways. The fourth plugin that you need to check out is the NUGEN A/B Assist plugin. Now, this plugin is comprised of 2 different sections. There is the A/B Assist plugin, and then there's the A/B Send plugin. And basically what it does is this allows you to use reference tracks within your sessions. And what you do is you load your reference tracks into your session, and then you put the NUGEN Send plugin on the inserts for each of those reference tracks. And then on your master bus, you put the A/B Assist plugin. And you might be saying, well, what's the point? What you do is when you go inside of the A/B Assist plugin, it lets you quickly switch between your mix and the reference mixes, and you could choose the different reference mixes that you want to hear. And this is great because it allows you to quickly see where your mix is sitting in relation to the reference mixes. You know, are you getting way too much low end in your mix, or maybe not enough top end, or maybe you need to boost your snare levels to get them consistent with your favorite mixes. So it's a really cool plugin for allowing you to quickly switch back and forth between reference tracks and your mix without having to solo a track or mute tracks, anything like that. It's just really quick, and it also allows you to volume match the reference tracks against your mix so that you can listen to everything at a consistent level. And that's super important when you're using reference mixes. Number 5 on my list of free plugins that you definitely need to check out is the VALHALLA FREQ Echo plugin. Now, VALHALLA makes amazing plugins to begin with. They have some awesome reverb plugins that are really affordable. I think they're usually sitting around $49 or $50 or something like that. But they have this FREQ Echo plugin, which is a great plugin for adding delay and depth to your mixes. And it has this really cool feature in it that I like called Shift. And what that does is it gives you some modulation effects within your delays. And it's a really cool sounding plugin. It's got this awesome analog sound, and it works amazing for adding some extra depth and space to vocals and guitar. And you definitely want to check it out. It's a really cool plugin. Check out all of their plugins because they make some of my favorite reverbs out there, and a great company. And lastly, I know I said there was 5 free plugins that I was going to tell you about, but I want to add a 6th option. And this isn't necessarily a plugin as much as it's a tip for you. And that is to sign up for the SOUNDTOYS mailing list. SOUNDTOYS is one of my favorite plugin companies too. They make amazing plugins, and very frequently they send out free plugins on their mailing list. And they're some of the best plugins that I've ever used. Typically, they'll give a light version of one of their bigger plugins that they charge money for, and sometimes they test out the market to see if people like the free plugin, and then eventually they start to sell it. And I've got some of my favorite plugins on there, like the little micro shift, little altar boy, little plate. Those are plugins that I use in almost every single mix as well, and I got them for free from being part of their mailing list. So you definitely want to sign up to their mailing list because they've got great products, and who doesn't like free plugins occasionally, right? Especially ones that people end up having to pay $100 for later on. So that's always a great bonus. So check out the SOUNDTOYS website and just sign up for their mailing list on there. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 favorite free plugins that you should check out that will help you make better mixes. I think by using these plugins, they're going to help you work much more efficiently. You're going to get great results. And these are plugins that I personally use in every single mix. So I can vouch for the fact that they work and that they are very useful. So definitely make sure to check it out. And guys, if this is your first time seeing anything from Master Your Mix, make sure to visit the website MasterYourMix.com. And currently I'm giving away a free download. It's called the Ultimate Mixing Blueprint. It's a guide to using EQ and compression in your mixes. And I walk you through the process of using EQ and compression on a bunch of different instruments: drums, bass, guitar, vocals. And inside of this guide, I tell you what characteristics to listen to in each of these frequency ranges, and what to boost and what to cut, and how to set your compression settings so that you can get the optimal results much faster. So once again, check that out. It's at MasterYourMix.com. And once you do that, you'll be added to my mailing list, where every week I send out new video tips and tutorials, podcast episodes, and a whole bunch of other great resources to help you start to make mixes that you're proud of and to help you complete mixes that you've been sitting on. So once again, MasterYourMix.com. And that's it for today, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.